Greetings everyone, this is Dolcet, and as a little twist, I'm presenting for this first video of Round 4. And if everything works out, you may see me again. Seeing how FNGR isn't making the video, it looks like he feels comfortable competing. Gee, I sure hope this doesn't mean I get screwed. But because I'm hosting doesn't mean we're changing the rules. If you need a refresher on the rules, just click on FNGR's face. We'll be doing a couple more of these videos before we begin voting, and as a reminder, the channel that hosts the video is the one that counts. I know first hoof that everyone in the fandom has been worked really hard this season to create content, some to the point of exhaustion. As an analyst and a fan of analysts, I want to thank you all for bringing your thoughts and opinions to the table. It's because of this channel and its community that I've been able to find so many new channels to subscribe to. With that said, here's 10 analysts for you all to enjoy. Emerald Bolt, Applejack Stay Off.
It was not going to be a highlight of Season 6, and it's probably not going to be something people tend to remember. But it wasn't a bad episode. That's all I'm going to say. For the plot line, it involved Applejack going to actually have a day off with Rarity and then going to go to the spa and get pampered. It turns out it didn't happen the multiple times that they've probably tried, but this is the one time that we're following the action. And we eventually come to the solution of, get someone else in to do the work while Applejack goes and enjoys a day off with Rarity, which they both end up doing eventually, but there again, Applejack has to fix issues that are at the salon. And we got to see some more interesting secondary tier characters, which I rather enjoyed.
Tricky Fox, A Heartwarming Tale.
I personally liked every song in this episode, especially the fact that we got an excuse for another Willing song from Starlight is simply awesome, and we got our first solo Luna song with a rather dark atmosphere to boot. That was a nice little surprise I highly appreciate.
I don't have anything else to say that's good, so I'll just say that Starlight looks adorable in that sailor outfit. Oh yeah, and Alan Rickman came back just to play Snape Pony.
Yeah, good that you bring that up. Professor Flintheart, I just call him Snape, is the reason that Snowfall doesn't think highly of Heartwarming Eve. But I guess it's time that we compare this episode to its source material.
The ANY Pony, the symmetry of the main 6.
Now, what is Pinkie famous for? Moving with supernatural speed and materializing in unexpected places. Like, she could manipulate reality. In addition, she is known to break the fourth wall and has a Pinkie sense. In other words, she knows and senses things from beyond her plane of existence. If you would look for a magical term to apply to those abilities, I would call it the third eye. I guess you might have figured out by now where I'm going with this. Pinkie Pie might seem to be an earth pony, but there is actually quite a bit of a unicorn in her. My theory is that because she lacks a horn to channel her immense magical reserve, she accesses them intuitively, what allows her to conjure objects and even herself out of nowhere, bend the rules of time and space, and has mystical visions. Therefore, let's move Pinkie in between unicorns and earth ponies, and take another look at our chart. So,
ABagOVicodin, same-sex romances in MLP.
There is an argument to be made for the fact that homosexual ships in My Little Pony, even as toned down as they can be, are an excellent perspective for a myriad of friendship problems. How would a character act if their best friend came out of the closet or a family member came to them first to confess that they felt different from everyone else because of their sexuality? Now, the problem that I personally have is that these stories are so out of tone for the show that I would begin to wonder if this problem should be even tackled at all. Is dealing with the struggles of gender identity really the slice of life episode that MLP wants to have? I'd argue not. You can create an entire spin-off series based on the Wasteland from the finale, or the one slice of life episode that we got. That doesn't mean that it's an economical idea. I do understand that other shows with arguably similar demographics, Steven Universe especially, have hinted to or confirmed homosexual ships. Yes, I know that the gems are non-gendered technically. Even MLP has Lyra and Bon Bon as best.
Misanthro Pony, Applejack Stay Off.
This episode seems to have a little bit of it, but it doesn't have enough. It focuses more on AJ's attention to detail and how she can be easily distracted by her need to do work that she believes needs to be done. In a sense, it does allow AJ's character to shine as she progressively analyzes what's wrong and what needs to be done to solve the problem. But even if this is keeping in tune with her character, it doesn't give her time to work off of Rarity, which would have made the episode more interesting. The episode also seems to be very slowly paced. A lot of it takes its time with AJ walking around the spa to analyze its problem, which honestly could have been done a lot faster. By the time AJ fixes its problem, the episode is in its last third.
For no good reason, a heartwarming tale.
Now that you understand this, and potentially all heartwarming tale is phony baloney, Season 6 is adapting to a more flexible format. And bear with me, I say potentially, later on the writers could choose to say more on these stories, whether they're true or canon. This should, in theory, keep everyone happy. Let's talk about another one of the great breakout moments with Luna as the ghost of heartwarming future. Now, I've heard it suggested that a Discord would have been amazing here, or even Sombra, and visibly I agree yes. But Luna's haunting echo and her song is simply something I think even John Delancey would fail to pull off. It's the perfect example of Luna using fear and terror, and who better than the Mistress of the Night? For anyone out there saying Luna is overrated, clearly are going to ignore this, and pretend none of this ever happened. The show seems to notice this so far as to take one of those critics and put them in the episode, as if to call them on it.
Toon Kritic Y2K, The Art of Reformation.
King Sombra. Oh man, was this guy a letdown initially? I mean, look at this guy. Does he not look like a classic villain straight out of a Disney movie? And what does it all amount to? Him being turned into a frickin' meme. Oh, King Sombrero, stairs, crystals. Anything that was supposed to be badass just poof. Okay, that's not it. That's not really the problem I have. In order for me to really get into this, I'm going to need to go to a local comics expert. So here's Sketchy the Changeling with a recap for the infamous Siege of the Crystal Empire 4-parter.
It sucks.
Thanks, Sketchy. Okay, for real, Siege was a comic arc that I was pretty excited for. A group of lesser-known villains team up with Chrysalis to help resurrect King Sombra and take over Equestria. Yeah, that's all fine and well, but once Sombra's back in the game, the villains get shoved to the side, and we finally see more of Sombra.
British Ninja, Saddle Row Review.
I also love the tension they build up. With the place in such a state and the countless problems that crop up, this is a genuine moment where Rarity could easily fail, which alone would be an interesting concept. Having Rarity deal with a bad review. Harsh but correct criticism. With Rarity being the practical avatar for the creative individual, this would have been an interesting look into the artist versus the critic, and how creators deal with harsh criticism. Lord knows this fandom could use it. So yeah, this is intense. Will it be a success? How will Rarity react? It could go either way, who knows? Oh wait, I know who knows.
Each of you contributed to the successful opening of Rarity for You. I just hope it doesn't end up being an article about how our friends almost ruined the opening.
Yeah, I kinda jumped the gun on that one. It's like if I told you the punchline to a joke and then spent the next 10 minutes telling you the setup for the punchline.
Keychi FIM, Gauntlet of Fire.
Now, at first I was a little hesitant about the introduction of this dragon princess girl, Ember. I instantly thought she was gonna be all, girls can do anything guys can do, but then I realized that there were other female dragons trying to get the gauntlet too, so luckily that was an idea I could throw out the window. Her whole thing was that she wanted to prove that she was strong and smart enough to handle the dragon obstacle course. Normally with this kind of character, you would expect her to be really crafty and strong and able to handle anything that's thrown her way as long as she's given the chance. Funny thing is, she can't. Her dad was totally right. If it wasn't for Spike, she would have died during the first 5 minutes of the competition. Naturally, the two underdogs decided to team up to get through this whole thing. Spike's true nature is on full display throughout the entire episode. He saved Ember from drowning, he saved Garble from the boulder.
Brawny Buck, Saddle Row Review.
I have been a part of several professional artistic projects. I've seen projects fail and people lose their jobs because they couldn't match the vision of the director. Examples of when the director's vision was ludicrous notwithstanding, the lack of cohesion can cause any combination of breakdowns in teamwork, inconsistent quality, inappropriately clashing art styles, and clashing general management styles. When I've been leading these teams, the instructions that I give are often a matter of quality control. Not following those instructions will ultimately lead to the task not being completed, which will bring down the whole project. The standards are there for a reason, and albeit not all of my professional experience has been as such, most of it has. It took a little while for me to remember the instances when this lesson as it was presented has worked.